we've been singing songs that you've written for us. Indescribable, Mighty to Save, to the songs that we sang, this morning. And you've given us a new song to express our desires, our worship, our praises to God, and we're thankful for that. So thank you for using your talents to serve the Lord. And talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about the songwriting process and where that inspiration can come from. I think for most of us that don't have that ability at all, it's a little bit of a fascinating process.
Well, thanks, Bo. I grew up in the church, and I remember coming and sitting, and my church was a lot like this, and I remember hearing those hymns of old that were just those things the hymns that you began singing as a child, and you didn't realize until your teen years and your college years that those were the words that were stuck in your head that kind of helped you continue on in that faith journey. And so it's such a privilege to be someone that gets to contribute to the resources that the church uses. I remember the first time I saw one of my songs in print, and I just thought, no, it's not good enough for that. But the truth is it's not that any of our songs are good enough to bring about lasting change in people's lives. It's that God in His mercy chooses songwriters to speak through songwriters like myself and Stephen, and then He'll do something so big that there's no question in our minds that it's really God, not us.
Now, the song that you're about to do for us, many people will know and recognize, and I know for many it's touched their lives because of going through trials and difficulties. The song Blessings, maybe the song that you're most known for right now, but there's a story behind that song, and I think the words of the song will become even more meaningful to people if they could hear a little bit of that story.
Well, I've been married for almost 10 years to my high school sweetheart, Martin, and it was almost 2 years into our marriage, Martin was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I'll share a little bit about this tonight. This is kind of a funny story. I remember the first doctor's visit we had, we found out that Martin was going to have surgery. The doctor told us it's possible that when he comes out of surgery, he won't remember who you are. I remember thinking how devastating that would be. Well, I got to see him as soon as he finished the first surgery. And as soon as our eyes met, he goes, "Laura Story!" And I thought, oh, he remembers me. And then he said, "What are you doing here?" And I realized that he knew exactly who I was, but he had forgotten that we were married. And so I had to break that news to him, which you really never know how that's going to go. But I'll never forget his response. He says, "We're married? Yes!" So that's really the best response you can hope for in a moment like that. But I tell you that because our lives have been anything but normal. They've had ups and downs, and Martin still lives with a vision deficit and a memory deficit. And it makes anyone that does life with a disability or does life with someone with a disability knows it's getting acclimated to a whole new normal. It's learning to trust God in new ways. It gives a whole new meaning to God being strength in our weakness. I'll tell you one more quick thing. I've prayed so often, probably every day I pray, God, will today be the day that you heal my husband? Because I know that you're all powerful, and I know you're all loving. Will today be the day? And if today's the day, I promise to give you all the glory for the rest of my life. And I feel like every time I pray that, I hear God say back to me, just in a very, penetrating voice straight to my heart. And He says, "I know, Laura. I know you give me all the glory. But what if the healing is actually going to be a process? What if it's going to be a long road that you walk that involves more sleepless nights than you ever imagined? And involves more faith than you ever thought yourself capable of? Will you still give me all the glory?" And so that's what the song's about, and that's what I'm trying to say yes to each day.
What a great testimony and a great story. But we would love to hear. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear you, so you can make your way back there. And as she does, I'd just like you all to join me in thanking Laura for her ministry and her songs and